A new political reality is setting in Colorado tonight after Democratic Socialist and first-time candidate Maylot Quiros defeats 15-term incumbent Diana DeGette in the Democratic primary. I'm very glad you're with us tonight. I'm Shannon Ogden. Now, the majority of Colorado's 1st congressional district is dark blue city of Denver. So Quiros is expected to win the general election in November and reach Congress in January. And this marks another win for DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, and of course, a stunning victory for a rookie candidate. And tonight, we're taking a closer look at the DSA.
We believe in using the democratic process to struggle for a government that works primarily for working people, where we have a lot more collective power. Warm bed, yep.
Denver 7's Claire Lavazorio spoke with a local DSA chapter, and she reports on their momentum in Colorado and across the country and the broader impacts that could have on Colorado's political future.
From New York City to the Mile High City, Democratic Socialists are winning elections and rewriting the rule book. It's not a political party, with candidates running to the left of traditional Democrats.
So what does that look like?
It looks like a very robust public sphere where everyone's needs are being met.
According to the organization's website, the group believes capitalism must be replaced with, quote, a system where ordinary people have a real voice in our workplaces, neighborhoods, and society. The movement gained popularity a decade ago with Senator Bernie Sanders and his presidential run. And now it's back in the spotlight with the election of New York City's mayor Zohran Mamdani, a self-proclaimed Democratic Socialist. Now others are riding the wave of momentum, from wins in the congressional primaries in New York City to Maylot Quiros ousting 15-term Colorado Congresswoman Diana DeGette. Denver 7 sat down with a member of DSA's Northern Colorado chapter after Quiros' election night win.
What do you think the biggest misconception is about Democratic Socialists?
I think people just find the word socialism really scary. I think that they get like visions of the USSR or something like that.
Member Hillary Ping says there's a lot of excitement here in Colorado.
I think that shows how much energy is with the Democratic Socialists right now.
But before you declare a socialist revolution, Chair of Political Science at MSU Denver, Robert Preuss, offers this reality check.
The real trick, if there is going to be an expansion, is really to then start to be able to talk to rural voters, talk to suburban voters.
After Quiros' win, those like Ping believe there's proof of concept.
I think that this is just the beginning.
But experts warn this socialist surge could further expose the Democratic Party's divide just ahead of the 2028 presidential election. In Denver, Claire Lavazorio, Denver 7.
And going in depth, Denver 7 anchor Micah Smith was there as results came in with Quiros last night. And after her victory speech, Micah spoke with the candidate who emphasized the need for change.
Your opponent, Diana DeGette, has said that now is not the time to have someone in Congress who doesn't have any experience.
Experience only matters if you do something with it, and I can't expect anybody who was at the helm of this ship that got us into this mess to be the one to take us out.
I want to congratulate.
In a concession speech, Congresswoman DeGette congratulated Quiros and thanked supporters, staff, and constituents, and reflected on her decades in office, highlighting the accomplishments, including environmental protections, medical research funding, and reproductive rights advocacy.